Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be playing with the blooming flourish background and the fancy butterflies. So we're going to do a little bit of slim line card and some dry embossing. So I've only got white here. That's all we're going to play with. So these butterflies have the shadow, they have the body, and then they have the detailed image. Makes it really super simple. So I'm going to cut one of those, and I'm just showing you here, everything lines up, and it's really easy to figure out what goes with what. All the little antennae are clearly shown. So I'm going to cut two of these butterflies with the bodies down the center. I promise it does all fit. And I just going to have one of this one in the bottom. So I have the gold embossing powder, I have silver, and I have VersaFine fallen leaves, and we're going to use that on the body. So all I'm going to do for the time being is tap my VersaFine around the edges, and I don't particularly want a straight line. I think I do get it on one of them, but it's no big deal, it's no problem. And just using the embossing powder around the edges. I'm just going to remove some of it just so it's not a solid line. This time, instead of the Versamark, we're going to use the VersaFine Clear. And yes, I'm going to struggle with this baby a little bit. I'm going to cover him all in. You do have to work relatively fast. It is a pigment ink, so it dries slower, but still, even with VersaFine, you have to move faster than a snail. Okay. So we're going to heat that up very carefully and drop it back into the, so I'm just giving an extra little heat. Just drop the body back into the clear embossing powder, and then again the body into the gold. This is going to give us like 3 coatings of embossing powder and give us a super thick, you can sort of see it here. And also the gold, especially on some of the other ones, they really come out. So I have off camera, I've done 3 of those. I've done all 3 of my butterflies, and now we're going to adhere them together. They all have their antennae, and you just put a line of glue down the middle, just line up his little antennae. The only thing that you need to be aware of with the body, because we have given it 3 coats of embossing powder, it's a little bit curled. So we need to put in a little bit of extra pressure on him. But he glues down thick. So we're going to have a body with black antennas and a gold body. But it is heaps of dimension. I mean, you could not do this and still have heaps of dimension because you've got 3 levels. These are all 3 of my butterflies. And it doesn't matter. They're all a little bit different. This is what we want. Okay, so my theory is to have my card like this. I want to mark, because clearly this is not a slimline die. So I'm going to mark my widest point of my butterfly, and we're going to aim for the embossing to be finishing there, because it's not going to matter. So I've got my base plate, which is set up for a standard embossing folder. I've got my B plate, I've got a rubber mat, and then I've got another B plate. Now you need the rubber mat in between, so that's where my line is. So we're going to make sure it goes a little bit below. You want to make sure your cardstock is on top of your rubber mat. Now when I go and do the bottom half, you may notice, spoil it, I've actually got it around the other way. That's not going to work. I did fix it, promise. It embosses it a little bit, but not as much. You can see there, beautiful little detailed embossing. See, your rubber mat needs to go around the other way. I do figure it out. What you want when you put your other B plate down is you want it not to go to the edge. So we've got that gap of just, I don't know, in inches it's probably a couple of 8ths. So you can see here clearly that it has a gap, but we're not going to notice that later on. position my butterflies. So it's really a simple little card. So don't discount your standard rectangled dies for a little bit embossing. Gluing my bottom, and so you can see there clearly, but we're going to actually mask it again with a bit of twine. I made another card the other week. When was it? Beginning of May, that had a bit of twine, so I'm on a twine kick. Okay, I like it. This is just some natural twine from my stash. And what I'm going to do with my butterfly is using the twine as a guide. I'm going to place little bits of the foam on the back of my butterfly in between the gaps, because otherwise it's going to be wonky and just bumpy, and it's not going to look pretty. So I'm just getting an idea of where I want to place my foam. So basically it's in the middle here. So we've got little bits of foam, and I've only got like 4 pieces on there, so it's a tiny amount, just to make sure the butterfly will sit nicely on the card. So it gives it a really elegant. So the top butterfly has a little bit of a line. You could brush that off. I quite liked it with that one. I didn't mind it so much. I have added my twine with a little bit of sticky tape, and now we've got a bit of foam on the back of it. I'm going to take off the middle one, because he's a longer card, so he's a bit harder to gauge. If I take off the middle one, I can press him down and still lift up the top and the bottom to remove the foam. I find this easiest with my cards. This foam, like so many, once it's down, it's pretty much down. You have a very limited time to move it around, to lift it up. This is the best wishes out of the It's Your Birthday stamp set. It is an older stamp set. It's not out of this release. And I'm just going to again use a little bit of foam and mount that up in between my middle and my last little butterfly. And that's pretty much going to be it for my card today. So we've got lots of dimensions with our bodies. There's more than one. And on some of them, the brown ink actually comes through a little bit. So it's a little bit fun. It's not a flat color. And the sentiment was stamped with the fallen leaves as well. So that's it. That's my card for today. I hope you're well. I hope you like what you see. Hit the like and subscribe button to follow for more. There's going to be lots of fun images to come out. Here's a couple of other videos for you to watch if you like that. And I will talk to you very soon. Take care. See you next time. Bye.